Okay. And then now we are live. Perfect. So, to explain or recap what's going on, Dree, you were unable to attend the last session, which is totally fine. We did come to an agreement to do something fun, something interesting, something different that I have not done before, is do a single player one-shot where you, playing as Chris Nilo, are returning back home to visit your family estate on one of the noble islands in Solitude. And so, our story begins. Do you need your character sheet out at this time? Do you need to prep anything beforehand, or are you ready to go?
I think I'm ready to go.
All right, wonderful. All right. And so, the title of this one shot is Chrysalism. Chrysalism. Our character for today is Chris Nilo. Our monk, if I remember correctly, you are a elf monk, or are you
high elf monk?
Yeah, high elf monk. I love that. Okay. And so, you tread the vacant path towards an imposing gate, forged from steel and framed with precisely placed bricks. The hinges groan as the gates swing open, inviting the young mistress home. As you stroll along the path up towards the manor, soft teal lights begin to illuminate your path as lanterns flicker on, revealing a well-kept garden rich with pink azaleas and morning glories. The air feels a touch thin as you take a deep breath, taking the view in before coming up to the steps of the manor. A well-maintained facade greets you, though void of any life. You presume the staff have either retired to their quarters or are inside, tending to their duties. What do you do?
I go ahead and open the doors and walk in.
And so you open the doors. Creak, same thing, as the doors feel heavy in your hands. It hasn't gotten any lighter. As you take a step in, you look around, and once again vacant. Quite empty, as you don't see any of your typical maids or butlers or personal attendants around. However, it does seem that the place is still well kept, clean, spotless, as it always is. To your left, you see the familiar study of your father, Vance Nilo. No doubts, empty, as he's always been busy. And to the right, a stairwell leading up to the second floor, the rooms in which you and your siblings typically occupy yourselves. And forward you have the foyer, the gathering space. Typically you would see your father and mother have conversations with politicians, merchants, and the like, extending their networks, their social spheres. Where do you go? What do you do?
I want to go ahead and go up to my old room.
Okay.
Or technically my room.
And then you see this. So, the middle area is the front entrance as well as the first floor. And then up the stairs will lead you to the map above. It's the top map, where you will have several different rooms. Specifically, there are 4 of them. One for each of you. I can move your token if you'd like.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you reach the top of the stairs. You brush your hand over the banister, taking a look around. It feels so familiar, yet so foreign to you. like you don't belong. However, one place gives you a sense of comfort, as your raccoon sits upon your shoulders and kind of rubs against your cheek as it looks towards one door in particular. And that would be this one, to the southwest.
Slowly push open the door and go in.
Okay. So you step inside, and you see a room that is quite different from the others. Very much in contrast. The rug is slightly off-center. The bookshelf has various books of different things you're never really interested in. No rhyme or reason or organization to it. Various sizes spanning from the left side all the way to the right. It's very much difficult to look at. Your bed still unmade, and your piano to your right used as somewhat of a doom space, as you've always tended to drop whatever items as convenient to you on top, as there isn't much room for anything else. You can see that you have your old wraps that sit upon the table that you would use for training in your monk martial arts, as well as some gloves and other convenient things such as a first aid kit, which you've often used due to accidents that occur during your training. You specifically told the head maid and butler to keep the room as is and to respect your wishes. Have not tidied up in your room.
I want to go ahead and put Freya on the bed so she can curl up and take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to go looking around the house to see if I find anybody.
Okay. You've got it. And so, do you explore the rest of the top floor where these rooms are, or do you go back downstairs?
I'll start with the rooms.
Okay. Which room do you go to first?
I'll just walk through the bathroom and go to this one.
Okay. So go through the shared bathroom between you and your 4 siblings, and you see a room with several bits and bobs in here. It seems more of like a workshop rather than a living space. You have a workbench across from you that you walk up to. You brush your hand over the surface of the table, still dusty, as usual, covered with wrenches, sprockets, bits and bobs, bolts, scraps of metal. It looks like most of it has been probably stolen, as you always expect. This is your brother's room, the oldest one, Oliver, who often is out and about, looking for his next piece of scrap metal, something that he can use to craft something fun and exciting for himself. He was always more of a whimsical boy. Definitely a rebellious one. Your father, Vance, always looked at him with disdain, wishing that he were more responsible. However, he always treated you kindly, always being the closest of the siblings to you. And as you explore his room, you see that he has quite the collection now. It's been quite some time since you've last seen him, and it seems that he has not rested his passion since.
Now I'm going to go over to this one.
Okay. And you step inside, you take a look around, and you see quite a clean, well-kept room. Definitely different from yours and Oliver's room. As you see several trophies that are laid upon the shelves, as well as pictures of your father, Vance, as well as 2 identical twins in the photo. Both, actually all 3, of gorgeous silver hair and blue eyes. As they stand together on top of a stage, 2 of the twins both holding trophies in their arms in the photo. see a fireplace towards your left against the wall, as well as two comfy lounging chairs seated in front. You can see that there are several variations of violins that are mounted against the wall at the opposite end from you. This is one of your stepsister's rooms. It is Violin's room.
Violin?
Mm-hmm. Her name is Violin.
Okay.
Violin Nyla.
Just because I know it's gonna upset her, I want to throw some pillows on the floor.
Okay. So you throw the pillows across the floor. You kind of just like pick them up kind of haphazardly and like toss them around the room. And it's like, yeah, that'll show her.
I just know it's gonna make her upset.
You feel somewhat proud of the handiwork you've done.
Oh, oops. And then I want to go look through her thing.
Okay. So you take a look around at her things, and it seems that she has quite the expensive collection of makeups and tinctures, essentially beauty products. Quite a few of them, in fact. To the back of the room, you can see that there are several dressers, and as you open them, you note that there is quite a few stylish pieces of attire here. You recognize where these are from. They're from the Marketplace District in the Commonwealth. Not just the commoner clothes that anyone would purchase, but rather the more expensive end. Definitely one that you would wear to a ball. It seems that she always wears clothes that are of the utmost respect and quality.
Blah. I don't want any of this. It's got no money hidden around somewhere.
Everything here is worth quite a bit, but as for money itself, as you reach one of her bedstands, you pop open the drawer and you look in, and you find 500 gold. Her monthly,
that's a lot.
Monthly allowance, no doubt.
I'm just gonna take that for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then make my way to the last room on this floor.
Okay. And as you step into the room, you see a similar sight. It almost seems like an identical room. However, instead, what you note is that the room itself is mirrored, as well as across the room, there's a display of instruments, but instead of violins, it's violas. This is your step twin sister, Viola's room.
I'm gonna look through her stuff too.
Okay. Alright, and as you look through her things, you see a similar sight, 500 gold, her allowance no doubt. However, you do see something else interesting. Underneath the coin pouch is a blank book, or rather, the cover is blank.
I want to look at the book.
Okay. And as you look at the book, as you flip through the pages, you see dates and times, as well as short entries. You discover that you've opened her diary.
Juicy. Let me know what a diary says.
Okay. So, you see some things that, some of it is disgusting to you at least. Talking about, individuals that she's seen in the city that she has a crush on. Talking about how her tutor is so hot. And how she wishes that she had more money for her allowance so that she could buy the interesting beauty products that are spread across the marketplace of the Commonwealth. In addition to that, there is something that does stand out in particular. It is one entry. It is a recent one. father requests that I attend the conference ball a week from now. I'm not looking forward to this. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I realize I just don't enjoy music. At least, not the way that he does. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've only really done it just to please Father. But that's not really what I enjoy. I've been thinking about it and trying again and again to speak to him, but I just can't muster the courage to tell him that I want to pursue art. I want to go to the Rotund Guild of Artistry in the Commonwealth. I know this would disappoint him, and I know he wouldn't agree. So, maybe I'll just keep doing this. I'm sure I can earn money being a performer, playing the viola, I mean. Maybe one day I can earn enough money to leave this place. And that's the end of the entry.
Interesting. I want to put the diary back where it was. I'm going to go ahead and leave her gold. But, she's got a piece of paper on her desk.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, like, I love you. Do what you need to do. Don't listen to our parents.
Okay. You got it. So you leave a note, handwritten from you, upon her desk. And you leave the room.
I'm gonna go downstairs.
Okay. And as you go down the stairs, one moment please. Just have to pull up the reference picture here. Okay. And as you make your way downstairs, you can move your token now to the first floor. It is the map below you. Okay. And as you make your way downstairs, you can hear kind of like the patter of a familiar set of heels as someone is running up and down the halls. And she says, "I know she's here. I know she's here. I heard that someone had spotted her. That she has to be here, right? Oh, thank goodness, Chris, you're here." And a familiar set of arms wrap around you as she holds you tight. It is a warm, familiar feeling. Is that of your nanny, Charlotte. "Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here. How are you doing? Are you eating well and drinking well? You're not hurt, are you?"
Anymore. I'm doing well.
That's a relief. I know your mother and father would be so happy that you've come back. If they were here. They're out on business, of course. Your father is gone to Bastion, and your mother is checking on one of her recent investments close to the mall, to the west.
As usual. But I'm not staying long.
Oh, no. Please, I insist, at least stay for some snacks and tea.
Of course.
And you can see that a relieved, soft smile comes across her face. You get the sense that she's been quite lonely without you here. And she quickly hurries over to kind of one of the kitchen preparation spaces that are spread across your mansion. And she's like, "Here, meet me in the family room over to the left, down the hall, right here. Why am I saying that? Of course you know. I know it's just been a while since you've been here, and I'll be back, okay?"
Okay.
And she hurries over and starts prepping. And down the hall, you can kind of hear her humming a soft little tune And she's kind of like wiggling her hips. She seems like very happy to seeing you, as she's preparing your favorite snacks and teas. And so she goes ahead and she hurries back. She is now more composed, proper, back straight, shoulders up, as she makes her way over. She's more in her professional mode, but her expression is still of like a doting mother, quite happy that someone she cares deeply about has returned. I'm back. Here, let me lay this down. Careful, it's hot. I don't know if you're a fan of these now, but I always try to offer them because I personally like them. Here's some eclairs, and oh yes, and some wonderful teas came in. These are from close to the mall. There's these interesting flowers that grow there, and it's quite fragrant and sweet. Anyways, I'm talking too much. Here, enjoy. As she serves and pours you some tea next to your small plates of baked goods.
So, where is everyone? Besides mother and father.
Oh, well, Violin and Viola are attending the ball and conference with your father in Bastion. Your mother is alone, working on her investments to the west. And as for your brother, Ollie, he is in the garage. He's working on some. I don't really bother him with any of it. He's not causing trouble, but it's rather loud and kind of painful to my ears.
Well, it's good to see he's alive and well.
Still up to no good, as usual. He's often going down to the Undercity in Iota. Your father keeps telling him to stop going down there and associating with those people. Well, minus the Peaks. Should be the only people he should associate with. That doesn't always turn out that way. As she pours herself a cup of tea now and takes a sip. And she says, but I know he means well. He just thinks differently from your father. So, speaking of which, tell me, how is your work going with the Peaks? Have you made any friends?
Necessarily call them friends, but I have met a group of people.
Oh, tell me about them.
Well, there's this little small gnome-like guy. He likes to drink. Then there's this girl called EJ. I gave her a sticker, and I think she liked that. But she's kind of weird. I don't know, something about her. And then there's this big winged lady, and then she was flying, and like dropping daggers on people. Great.
They sound wonderful. Sounds like a reliable group of people to be around. I'm sure you're treating them well, and I hope they're treating you well.
Well, I know I'm treating them well. I'm just putting everything on Father's tab.
I'm sure he doesn't mind. Honestly, he does feel quite guilty for being absent. It's the least he can do. And you see, she kind of like shakes her head as her mind kind of wanders for a moment, and she says, "Anyway, I'm glad that you've met some people, and I'm sure that they're part of your party, I assume?"
Yeah, we're hanging out for the time being.
I do hope that you are managing to make some friends while you're down there. I know it wasn't really of your choice or for your volition, but I assure you it's for your own good. I know that's probably not what you want to hear, Chris, but I'm glad you're okay. That's, her voice kind of like falters, and like you can see that like she has like just an expression of relief that like you even came back at all.
Well, I'll always come for some advice from you.
I feel like I've hardly even given you any. But
What a. Go ahead.
oh, apologies. What can I help you with? You seem troubled.
Necessarily. Just some interesting lady stole my job, basically.
Your job.
She stole our package.
Oh my. But were you hurt?
Oh, not at all.
And she like as you say this, she kind of looks at you like with like a knowing look, and she takes a step forward, and she kind of like rubs your cheek, like where like she can clearly tell that there is a healing bruise there, and she says, "Well, I'm sure they look far worse off."
Yep.
So, I assume that I always have trouble saying his name. It's so odd. Alexander is expecting you to retrieve that package. No?
Well, nobody knows that we've lost it yet.
Oh. Well, don't keep it a secret too long. But as long as you do, it's... And you see that she kind of like gestures like her thumb and finger like from one corner of her lips to the other, showing that her lips are sealed.
Yeah, we'll see. Once I get back to my party, I'll see what they think. But I just kind of mysteriously disappeared on them.
Oh no, they must be worried sick about you.
I at least left a note.
Oh, well, that was good. At least they know you're okay. Well then, in that case, it has been a while since you've been here. Is there anything that you would like to do? Would you like to take a look around? I could accompany you.
I kind of want to see Oliver.
Okay, absolutely. Please, this way. And she guides you through. She guides you through the hall, and brings you around to, kind of like this main area here. And you can see that there's like a false wall here, that instead of actually leading out towards the back, it actually leads to an underground tunnel. And as you make your way through, you're familiar with this place. This particular mansion is built atop of a hill, and the garage is actually built into the side of the hill. So this tunnel actually leads to one of the private garages that's used solely for the family. It's not a place that visitors can park at or even see. And this is more for like private projects and affairs and things like that. It's also where your father keeps some of his collectible crafts as well. And as you get closer towards the garage space, you can hear like the familiar sound of like tink 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 whir whir, as like, you know, you're hearing like the scraping of metal, like the spinning of bolts, the hammering of ball peen hammers against like sheets of metal, as you make your way over to the garage. I do not have a map for this, so it will have to be theater of the mind, but I do have a token reference for you.
Cool beans.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Where is he? Here we go. And so, you make your way in into the garage space. The familiar smell of concentrated remnant burned and consumed since. Oils spilled across the floor, as well as a dusty space around you. There's several tools and boxes and parts that are strewn about the floor. And then on the other end of the room are several different Solitude crafts lined up side by side. That space being far neater than the other space, which you recognize as Oliver's working space. You see a pair of legs underneath the craft, as you see someone wearing coveralls and suspenders is underneath, working on something. You can see a soft teal light underneath, moving around every which way, as you recognize this is Oliver, who is now looking at the underside of this craft like, oh, come on, piece of junk. Almost got... Plink! Yes! Finally! Oh my god, why does that take so long? Dear Nalise. Alright. And he slides himself out from underneath the craft and like kind of like rolls over, and he's like kind of like pounding the floor with his fist like, yes, yes, yes! And then he kind of like turns his head and he's like, oh! Sis! And he gets up onto his feet really quickly. Hey! And he like, his big arms pick you up and he starts spinning you around. Hey, long time no see! Good to see you!
What are you working on?
Oh, this is, project, you know? Just, another one of my things. Just working on this neat little solitude craft here. You like it? And you see that it's quite an interesting craft. You can see that a lot of work has gone into it. A lot of modifications. It looks like some of the standard, military solitude vehicles. However, this one, looks not only different in form, but function as well. Several bits and bobs, and a lot of things that you don't quite recognize on the vehicle. However, you notice that it is in your favorite color.
Is it for anything special or just for fun?
Alright, I guess it's that obvious, huh? And like he reaches into his back pocket, and then he tosses you a set of keys.
So it's for me.
Yeah, I've been working on it for, well, since you've been gone. It's been, what, 5 months now? Happy birthday, sis.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I know it's
What
a
else
little
have you
late.
been up to?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, what else have you been up to?
Oh. Well, really just this. Well, that and, I've been dropping down to Iota every now and then. I know I'm not supposed to see you while you're technically, like, on the job, you know, with the peaks. But I have been checking in with Rags and just asking him how you're doing. Yeah. Hopefully he's been treating you well. Hopefully he's not been giving you any alcohol.
I've been responsible. But I think my party members drink enough for all of us.
Well, at least someone's doing it for you. But yeah.
So, what's this vehicle do?
Oh, well. So, get this. Alright. I'm such a genius. My brain is enormous. And, anyways, so, it's just your normal Solitude military vehicle. Moves faster than the rest. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the modifications to get it to go all the way up to the top of the tower, because that would be, well, I mean, it would be illegal. And, it's not registered, so it'd probably get blown out of the sky. So I wasn't going to test it anyway. But it could definitely get you all the way up here to the Noble Islands and all the way down to Iota. And it's fast. Like, you know how, like, normally, like, they kind of float super slow? Yeah. This moves double that. Don't ask me how I did it. Just rest assured, I still have all my fingers. And, like, he, like, kind of raises up his gloved hands and he, like, wiggles his fingers here to show you he still has all of them. But I managed to make it work. And so, that's really nice. On top of that, it's heavily armored and he knocks his knuckles up against the side. Yep. Got about 2 inches of adamantium here. Nothing is getting through that. Well, I mean, almost nothing. That's still pretty good. Top of that, it's nice and quick. It has really good, nice handling. Oh, and get this, you're gonna love this. I know you like things that explode. And he opens up one of the doors, and he kind of like, you know, sticks his upper body in, like hanging out of it, because like it's like floating now. So he's like hanging from like the passenger seat as he's like reaching in, and you hear a click, and you hear click, 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 click. As you can see that there are two arcane cannons that project out from underneath the craft, and you can see that Charlot is like, oh my, this is so dangerous. Why did you make this? It's like, isn't it cool? Look at it. It spins! You like it?
Yes, very much so.
And you can see that he has like a big, like, genuine smile. Like it like sometimes you wonder who's the older sibling here. And he just has like a big smile, very much golden retriever energy, as he as he's like stands proudly with his fists on his hips. Yep. And then he kind of like snuffs his nose with his knuckle. All in a good day's work. I just wish Dad would have liked it more.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Father.
So what brings you back?
Came for a visit to check on things.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Oh, hey, while you're here though, do you want to go snooping around in Dad's office?
Of course.
I know he's always got juicy stuff there, and if he doesn't, he's always got money in there. You didn't get your allowance yet, right? Well, I mean, you haven't got like 5 months of allowance, probably.
Yeah.
And so, like, as he leads you back through the tunnel and back up into the main space, you see that his expression starts to change a bit. Roll me an insight check.
Oh, it's really slow. Oh, there you
go. You don't notice like anything like outwardly wrong, other than just like a slight like look of concern. It's very flighting, for a very brief moment, and then it's gone, and then he's just this normal, cheery self. And as he's doing so, he's like trying to like tell you a story as he's making his way back upstairs. And it's like, and so when I was down in Iota, those really rickety like pillars that hold it up. You know, it looks like it's wood that's just rotted to the core. Yeah, so I was exploring down there, and I was finding all this nice junk. There's amazing things you can find down there. You'd be surprised what people ditch. Well, most of it's pretty disgusting, but there's some cool stuff down there too. And
I bet.
Yeah, it's so awesome down there. I mean, you know, make sure you have your tetanus shot, because it's definitely not safe down there. But you know, if you ignore that part, it's pretty neat. And so he leads you over to this side stairwell here, which leads you to the bottom map. Yeah, so all that is pretty neat and good and well and all that good stuff. But hey, you want to see something interesting? As you're passing through the dining hall, you can see that it's all clean, pristine. You can see that it's always ready for someone to attend the meal. However, you do note as you pass by that your seat in particular, you see it, and you see that there isn't a plate or utensils or a glass there. You feel, a tender pain seeing this.
Oh, I want to move. I want to move wherever the father sits, and I want to move that plate and everything into my spot.
All right, you got it. And so, you move the all the plates and utensils and the glass over to your seat, and your brother Oliver sees this, and he's like, "All right, I didn't see anything, but I'll tell you all about how furious he is when he gets back."
Perfect.
All right. So, hey, check out this cool thing. It's not his office, but he has this really neat thing in here in his me time room. And you walk in, and there's a billiards table. You were never a fan. A fireplace and several seats, as well as several bottles of ale. But that's not what he pulls his attention towards. He pulls his attention towards something interesting in the back. Mounted upon the wall, you note that there is a weapon upon it. It is a pair of gauntlets. They glow of arcane light of teal with runes laid upon them. It seems that the knuckle parts have pure remnant laid into them. Check this out. I wish I was responsible for making this. Honestly, I'm not quite there yet, but it's pretty cool. Dad got us a gift. Not sure what it's called or what it does, but doesn't it look neat? And he picks up one of the gloves, it slumps down onto the ground, leaving a dent in the ground. It's like, you didn't see this.
Blame it on me later.
Okay. Yeah, it's really, it's very heavy. But they're neat.
But can I learn more about it?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay.
Roll me a history or arcana check, whichever you're better at.
Neither.
Pick your poison. Oh wait. Oh, that's the insight from earlier. Okay, I forgot. It takes a little bit for those to roll. And so while you're waiting for that roll, he continues to explain, like, yeah, these things are pretty neat. So apparently that and he kind of like looks around at the back of it. Usually there's like a signature here. Oh yeah, I recognize this one. Yeah, this is Professor Zyberg's work. Yeah, that guy's kind of weird. Kind of smells funny too. Anyways, so I know that he has some expertise in particularly like industry, production stuff. Basically, he bakes things that make it easier to do that kind of work. Maybe it's related. Maybe you could hit things really hard with it. I don't know. It makes sense. It's heavy. It's a glove. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. To be fair, all I know... Well, really, for all I know, it could just be really good at opening bottles. And with your history check... nice, by the way. You recognize that these are a pair of gloves. You don't know the names of them, but you know that they're often used in factories. It's used to shape metals rather crudely, but also used to quickly break down like objects like stone. It's just overall like a multi-tool, so to speak. It's heavy outwards. However, to the wielder, there's light as a feather.
Wait, is it Malrum that does like that stuff, the stone and whatnot?
He is interested in stonework. He is also interested in smithing.
Try and take them for him.
Okay. Roll me an athletics check.
Athletic.
Ooh. And as you try to lift them off the ground, you see what Oliver means. These things are incredibly heavy. And like he kind of like helps try to give you a hand. He's like trying to help lift it up off the ground, and it's not budging. Why is it so heavy? I don't get it. How's anyone supposed to use these things if they're so freaking heavy? Like, who uses these? Goliaths? Hey, why don't you just try like putting your hand in it? Like, you know, like, wear it. Like, floop.
Okay.
And so, you put the glove on, and as you do so, a voice comes into your head. Hello. Welcome to Solitude Project TR-46-2. Codename, Lisa's Hands. Please lift up hands. Calibrating. Calibration complete. And as you hear this, you feel that it almost feels like you're not even wearing gloves at all, but you can see it on your hand as you lift them up and you like look at them from front to back and move the fingers as you're easily able to manipulate the large metallic hand. He's like, what? Okay, I know you do a lot of martial arts training, but I didn't think you were that strong. Why'd you pretend that you couldn't lift them?
Because I couldn't.
What? I don't know how this thing works.
I believe it's something welder's hands only, right? So maybe I'm just special.
Oh, maybe. Well, anyways, let's try doing something cool with them.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. They're like big, heavy hands. I don't know. Why don't you try hitting something? Preferably not here, because I don't think I could take all that blame.
Oh, just to mess with my father, I do want to take a billiard ball.
Oh, okay. So you pick up the billiard ball and you like kind of squeeze it in your hand, and you think like, oh, like maybe like it'll like crack like a little bit. No, it like pulverizes it into dust in your hands. It like, poof, and like a plume of dust explodes between the fingertips of the glove as like you just crush it with ease. It almost feels like you just like squeezed on like a tomato.
Oh. Now I want one to keep in my pocket, please.
Okay. You keep one billiard ball in your pocket, and you see Oliver. He's like kind of like waving his hand. He's like clearing out like the dust in the air from you just like pulverizing one of the billiard balls. Like, that was amazing. Did you even feel anything?
Not at all.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, imagine how... Man, I wish you were here like yesterday. I had this engine I had to pick up. I bet you could pick up some really heavy stuff with that too.
Boy.
I wonder, can you like punch stuff with that?
I mean, considering it's light as a feather on my hand, yeah.
Oh. Alright. Yeah, we gotta give this a try. And he leads you back like, hey, come on, let's go back to the garage real quick. And he rushes to the garage like really fast. He gets down the stairs. He's like almost trips at the bottom of them. He catches himself. Oh, okay, all right, no, we're good. Back the hall. Hi, hey, Charlo. Excuse me, Charlo. And makes his way through the hall. And as you get into the garage, he leads you over to one of your father's vehicles. And he's like, you should totally punch one of these. Like this one right here. He doesn't like it anyway. He thinks it's ugly. He just keeps it because it's expensive. But what does he care? He's rich.
Why would I punch his least favorite when I can punch his favorite?
I like the way you think. Alright. Punch it, Chris. And go ahead and roll me to hit for your unarmed strike.
Oh, please be good. I would like to damage a car.
Okay. Roll it at advantage.
Okay, I'll roll a second one after it.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. And you take your hand. You're kind of unsure about it. It's like, this is actually work. And go ahead and you go, bam, as you punch the vehicle, and it slides across the room. You can hear screech as it scrapes against the stone floor of the garage, and slams into another car, or not car, but craft. Shattering windows, the door falls off the hinge, and sheets of paper fly around as documents were inside of the vehicle. And your brother looks at you, he's like, that was awesome! And as you do this, you see that one of the glowing teal lights on the knuckles grows dim. That was awesome. How did it feel? Are you hurt? I mean, like, you punched the whole entire craft against another one across the... Oh, my...
It felt like nothing, but one of the things went out.
Oh. Oh, no, did we break it?
Well, I'm gonna take it anyway.
Oh, alright, well, that's fair. I didn't see anything then.
But I may need to learn more about them. Is there not a book in here with the fucking millions of books in here about them?
There might be something in Dad's study. Here, let's go check it out. And you make your way over to your father's study. There are several different books and files sitting upon the desk. One of them in particular that stands out to you, unless you'd like to make an investigation check to further inspect the room, you can immediately see it. It's labeled Nali's Hands.
Go ahead and take that. But I do want to look around the room, see what I can find.
Roll me an investigation check. Okay. With that investigation, it's all kind of gibberish to you. You never really paid much attention to your father's work. However, you do manage to sift through the papers and books and documents. You kind of push most of it out of the way, not really caring whether or not it gets knocked on the floor. And on his desk, you can find a letter. Several pages, in fact.
Okay. What's it say?
And so the letter reads as follows. Hello. How's the weather faring down there? I hope you don't mind me writing a letter to you. I'm sure you would prefer a conversation. Honestly, I've never been very good at writing these, but I figured I would give it a try, at least. I know I've been absent. Well, that's an understatement. I'm practically a ghost to you, your sisters, and your brother. But I just want to let you know that although you didn't necessarily agree to join the Peaks, I just want to say I'm proud of you and that you are making a huge difference. You may not see it, you may not understand, but I promise when this is all over, you can do whatever you like. It's not that I don't want any of you to do what you like. It's just difficult to do that right now. I know you're probably far too young to understand what I'm even saying. But I just hope that in the end, even if you hate me, that at least you'll be right where you want to be in the end, with or without me. I'm not sure if you even read these letters, or if they're even getting to you. The Peaks is quite restrictive. But hopefully at least you read one of these. Anyways, I'll be going to Bastion a week from now. I'll be taking your sister's violin and viola with me. If you do come to visit, just know I really wish I weren't here, and rather I were at home. I wish that every single time. I know you might not think the same. Actually, I know you don't think the same. After all, I'm not your real father. Just someone who married into the family, or at least that's what you told me last time. But still, one day, I hope that at least we can have a civil conversation. Without yelling. I promise. And then it kind of just like trails off, and you see like several different like lines written and scratched out like over and over again, like he was trying to like find like the right words to say to like wrap up his thoughts. And then underneath it are like several notes of like several different like choices of words and definitions that go with them. And then you can see like there's citations of like different books that he's read. And then you compare them to the wall, and you can see that it's like different books that are like parenting, or and like how to engage with your teenage child and things like that. And like there's matching books to all of these citations, and these are the books you find. And at the very last page, at the very bottom, you read one particular word that seems strange to you. It's Chrysalism. Chrysalism, noun. The amniotic tranquility of being indoors during a thunderstorm, listening to waves of rain pattering against the roof, like an argument upstairs, whose muffled words are unintelligible, but whose crackling release of built-up tension you understand perfectly. Did you find what you were looking for, sis?
Sure.
Alright,
I'm
well...
just gonna fold up that note and put it on the chair so he knows that I read it.
Okay. Alright. Well, by the way, have you been having any headaches recently?
I don't think so. Why?
That's a relief. You know, because... Just checking in on you, just making sure you're doing alright, you know, making sure your health is good. Alright, well, you probably should be heading back, right? Hey, you should show off your new gift.
Don't brush over that. That was sketchy. Don't just brush over the headaches thing. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I mean, you know, that's how Alexander controls all the peaks, right? You don't do jobs and your head gets messed up. I was just making sure that you're...
If I did get headaches, I've gotten used to them by now, and I don't realize.
Oh. Well, I hope you're not giving him too much trouble. He's not the kindest of people.
He's alright. People tend to like me down there.
Well, that's a relief. Alright. Well, in case you do have headaches, or if you need anything, just come back here. I'll be around. Probably. Oh, but if I'm not, I'll be down into the Iota. You know, scavenging for parts.
Okay.
Alright.
I should be getting back to my party.
Alright. It was good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, Chris. And, like, he gives you, like, a really big hug. And he, like, kind of, like, has his arms around you for a little bit too long. Like, it almost seems like he doesn't want to let go.
Listen, you big oaf. I'll be back.
Alright. I'll see you later. Bye, Chris.
Bye. I want to go give Charlotte a hug, too.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh. That's okay. No, she's here. Oh, sweetheart, you're leaving so soon?
Yeah. I gotta go do some stuff.
Well, be safe out... What are those?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She gives you a long, puzzled look. I didn't see anything.
Exactly. Everybody's blind in this house.
Please do be careful.
I will. Plus, I'm not doing it alone.
Well, that's a relief. Treat your party well.
I will. Maybe I'll bring them sometime.
I would love to meet them.
Oh, and then I gotta get Freya from upstairs, and then I'll leave.
Okay. So you quickly make your way upstairs. You grab Freya, who can hear you coming upstairs. They're already waiting at the door, and as you open it, they quickly wrap around your leg, your torso, and up around your shoulders, and nestle themselves up in their comfortable spot, right underneath your hair. And as you make your way down to the garage, and climb into your newfound craft, you see that both Oliver and Charlot are standing there, waiting for you, patiently, as they wave you goodbye. The soft hum as the craft lifts up, and as it launches forward like a gust of wind, carrying you forward. As you make your way back down, descending into the Commonwealth of Solitude. And so is the end of our one-shot, Chrysalism. Alright. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop stream for just a moment here to take a quick break so that we can then pick up with the peaks. But let me go ahead and end real quick.